Hello there! In this video, you're going to learn how to create email marketing campaigns within the OneCRM customer relationship and business management system. To begin, we'll head over to the Sales and Marketing tab group and click on Campaigns. Then, we'll click on Create Campaign Classic and fill in the basic details for the campaign. The mandatory fields are name, type, status, start date, and end date. All the other fields are essentially documentation fields, so you only have to fill them in if you feel they'll be useful to you. The campaign type field is a very important one. The campaign type may be email, drip feed, newsletter, telesales, mail, print, web, radio, or television. Of these choices, email, drip feed email, and newsletter campaigns are actually performed by OneCRM. The others may be documented within OneCRM by entering them here as a campaign, but only the value of entering them in OneCRM is as documentation. For now, choose email to create a basic email marketing campaign. When you're done, click on the Save button. As part of defining an email marketing campaign, you will also need to create an email marketing program within your campaign and an email template. So we'll click on the campaign we've just created, scan down to the email marketing subpanel, and click on the Create button. And then we'll fill in more details about your specific email marketing program within this overall campaign. We'll type in the name, choose the status, and fill in the Use Mailbox field. This needs a group inbox that you create in admin, email, group inboxes. And be sure to create it with possible actions set to bounce handling. So if you haven't already, you will need to go to admin and create that group inbox first, before you define your email marketing campaign. And lastly, we'll select an email template. If you don't already have an email template, you can simply click on this button and a new screen will open up, allowing you to create one. Once you're editing the email template, you can set the name, description, and subject. To edit the email body, you can either create an email simply by typing it in here and using the toolbar functions for accents, or you can click on the source link to view the email body window as HTML source code. Then you can paste HTML source from a program such as Dreamweaver into the email body and then save. Please note that you can create variable data insertion points in your email using the Insert Variable drop-down controls and the Insert button. These data insertion points allow you to personalize emails with the name of the recipient or their company name, etc. Also note that binary attachments or OneCRM documents may be attached to this email. Once you're satisfied with your email template, just click Save. And now you can head back to our email marketing campaign and select the template you've just created. Unless there's anything else you'd like to edit, you can now save off your email marketing program as well. Next, you need to create a target list to hold all the targets you identify for this campaign. To do this, scan down to the Target List subpanel and click on the Create button. Fill in the name, type, leave this at default for now, and description for the list. Once you're done, just press Save. Now if you click on the target list and then select Create, you can either import the data for some targets in CSV or TSV formats using the database import shortcut, or you can type in the data here. Once you have a number of targets in the system, you can head back to the detail record and select Add Existing to add any existing targets, contacts, leads, or users that you would like to include in this campaign. I'll just add a few contacts for this example. Lastly, go back to the detail record for your marketing campaign, and in the Targets List subpanel, click on the Add Existing button to select the list we've just prepared. Note that you can add more than one target list here, so if you have them separated out by geography or some other criterion, you can include several lists here to make up the full campaign. You may have noticed a dynamic checkbox when defining a target list. If you check this box on the Target List Edit view, the secondary tab, Target Filters, becomes live, and you can define filter rules for targets, leads, contacts, and users to be automatically included in the target list. This is a fantastically useful feature, as it means that you don't have to continually maintain target lists, adding new leads or contacts into them. As long as your fundamental data is maintained in good order, be it the country field for leads and targets, or any other specific item of information on your leads, targets, or contacts, your target list will automatically stay up to date. The last item we're going to look at is tracker URLs. A tracker URL is a link, either a URL or a PHP program, on your OneCRM server to a place you want the recipient of the email to go when they click on a link in your email. For example, here at OneCRM, we might send out an email that has a link to request a free trial of OneCRM, another link to try out the public demo site, and lastly, a link to opt out of the campaign. So we would input these 3 URLs here to keep track of which ones got clicked on. Then we would go back to the email template and add in the tracker URL references to the text dealing with each of those 3 actions, which would then link them to the appropriate tracker URL. You can also click to see the generated tracker URL if you'd like to copy and paste it to link from a button or image in the template. Once you have your campaign and its related information created, you should run campaign diagnostics to check your setup. Start by clicking on the diagnostics shortcut. This function lets you check that you've set up your campaign properly and also that your administrator has set up the various scheduler tasks needed at the system level to support the execution of a marketing campaign. Next, you need to test your campaign by clicking on the Send Test button found at the top of your campaign detail view. Make sure that you've created a testing target list and that you're sending the test campaign to that list. Note that in test mode, a campaign will ignore suppression lists. It will also not check for duplicated email addresses, allowing you to send multiple emails to the same recipient. Once your campaign seems to be working in test mode, it's time to run your first real campaign. At this time, it's important to make very sure that your email template and your target lists are all in good order. There's nothing worse or more embarrassing for your company than sending out an incorrect email or sending it to people who have not asked to receive it. You also need to be very careful about the start date and time you set on the email campaign to make sure that it's set for when you want the campaign to go out. The start date and time on an email marketing campaign is the key time and date used by the system to initiate the campaign. As well, you also need to make sure that the scheduler is set up properly if you're going to send out the campaign automatically rather than manually. Diagnostics checks that for you. To send out your campaign emails, click on the Send Emails button at the top of your campaign detail view. Individually select any campaigns you wish to send out, or select all of them by clicking on the checkbox beside the title of the name column. Be sure to check that the total recipients number seems to be correct, and then click on the Send button. All the appropriate emails will now be added to the outbound email queue. Again, compare the total recipients number with the number of emails now in the queue. If you run an email marketing campaign with a start date and time in the future, the system waits until that date and time passes, and then, using the scheduler, sends the emails in the outbound queue. You may monitor and manage this outbound email queue using the Manage Email Queue function within Admin. Please note that nothing you can do will send queued emails before their due date and time. Also remember that the scheduler is what normally sends these emails, and you need to make sure that the scheduler is active using diagnostics, and that the specific scheduler task, Send Campaign Emails, is active as well. Also note that the Use Mailbox group inbox on the email marketing program is where any email bounce backs are sent, and the scheduler task, Process Bounced Campaign Emails, needs to be active in order to process them. Lastly, to track your campaigns, the status on the campaign detail view provides a display of the status of any email campaign. And the ROI tab on the campaign detail view shows the return on investment chart for the campaign, using the data from opportunities marked as closed or won that are related to this campaign. Now that you understand how to create, run, and track email marketing campaigns within the OneCRM information system, now would be a great time to log into your own OneCRM and create a test campaign for yourself. Thanks for using OneCRM.